Finding the right golf ball for your game can be a bit of a challenge. There's so many different ideas out there as to what ball you should use, but we all have different preferences of what we're going to need for a golf ball. And one of those can be price. Well, in this video, we're going to be looking at Titleist Performance Golf Ball. These golf balls hit different kind of characteristic points for different players, but they also come in at a slightly lower price point than you're going to find from their premium range. I've got Tom Hiscock down from Titleist to do a bit of a fitting with me in these golf balls, and we're also going to get a bit more of an idea from him to find out which ball might work for your game. Just before we get into looking at the actual golf balls and me hitting a few shots with them and giving you some numbers, can you just give me a bit of an overview of the 4 golf balls that we're going to be looking at today?
Yeah, of course, Dan. So these golf balls encompass our performance range within our entire range. So these golf balls give golfers options at different preference points. That might be how the golf ball feels, how the golf ball flies, what colour options there are, the side stamps. Every golf ball has a different side stamp, the play numbers, but primarily price. We understand that every golfer is going to have a budget in mind. Now, what's really important to note is when you're playing a golf ball, given it's the only piece of equipment you play on every shot, it's really important to play the same one. So this is why we have different options. So true feel, lovely and soft. It's our least expensive golf ball, performs wonderfully, feels lovely and soft, a few colour options, great price point. Velocity in a similar price bracket gives you a completely different performance in terms of higher ball flight. It's for golfers seeking distance everywhere on the golf course, not just from the tee, but with shorter shots as well through height, and it's slightly firmer. Moving up to Tour Soft, you're going to pay a little bit more money, still getting that lovely soft feel from a 2-piece golf ball, which is going to keep the price down. It's got a really nice side stamp for those who are interested in that. And then for those who are a little bit more competitive in terms of performance options around the green, a little bit more versatility with a bit more short game performance, not sacrificing any distance from a tee, Tour Speed is your golf ball at a great price point.
So what we're going to do today then,
yep.
As it's such a beautiful day, we're going to hit some golf balls on the range. Mm-hmm. We're going to go through the process, okay? Yep. And then at the end, we're going to talk about the numbers of these golf balls. So we're going to go through the 50-yard pitch like we did in the premium line of golf balls. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you go and check that out. Then we're going to hit some mid-game shots, yep. So 7 irons. Then we're going to hit driver to finish us off, and then we're going to talk numbers.
Okay, great.
Sound good?
Yep, perfect.
So is it important when you go through this process now, is it as important like the premium range where you do a blind testing on this?
Yeah, probably
even more important.
Even more important. And actually, if somebody's coming for a fitting,
yeah,
the fitting will encompass every single golf ball.
Okay.
So we won't just do a fitting for
a premium range,
yeah.
Performance range. Yeah.
This is why the blind test is really, really important. But also, it's a great chance for the golfer to experience the entire range. Yeah, absolutely. Because from here, I don't want to curse it, but from here, this is where you're going to see the biggest difference, not only in these golf balls, but relative to the entire range.
Right, okay. 50 yards, I'm going to use a 58-degree wedge, which is kind of what I would use for this yardage, okay?
Yeah, perfect.
I do carry a 54, but I would probably only use that if the pin was maybe at the back and I wanted to go in a bit lower.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. Have you noticed much difference in the feel of those first two?
Not really, if I'm honest. I was expecting maybe a little bit more because I got a definite difference with the premium range, but not feeling it quite as much in these.
That was well struck, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was nice. Well, I've hit a few different shots today with the premium line. Yeah. And the first thing with that is how high that just went. Yeah. Is that to be expected?
Yeah, so again, this is why we don't consider club head speed when it comes to golf ball fitting, because from here, your delivery hasn't changed, but we've seen a massive difference in the performance. So again, because we're swinging the club so slowly, we're only activating one part of the golf ball. We're only activating the cover. So when you're using a premium performance golf ball from our range, you're getting that soft cast urethane, which is going to give you a lower launch with more spin. With these golf balls, which have well, not all of them to be fair, but we'll come on to that a bit later. But the golf ball you've just hit has got a Surlyn cover. So it's a much firmer ionomer. It pops and it doesn't spin quite so much. So with the same delivery, you're going to get a completely different reaction.
Again, nothing in that either. Like feel-wise, nothing in that. Oh, it stopped and dropped quickly, didn't it?
That was nice, wasn't it?
Just a nice strike. With all 4 balls,
Yeah.
nothing. Absolutely nothing. The first couple of shots definitely popped that ball up in the air, and then I could almost see the flight wanting to sort of slowly come down to the last ball, which definitely performed more like what I would usually see on the golf course from what ball I use, which would be a Pro V1.
Yeah.
Moving into Pro V1X, but definitely a different flight, definitely a lower flight in that last one.
Yeah, and again, that's down to the cover system. So we're moving away from Surlyn, which is the cover which we use on True Field Velocity Tour Soft,
Okay.
and then into thermoplastic urethane on Tour Speed.
Right.
And that with a bit more spin and a slightly lower launch, with more spin, it's bringing that launch down.
Yeah.
And like we could both see it, couldn't we?
Straight away.
Straight through that. Or that kind of, you could say it was a hybrid window between premium and performance.
Yeah, I agree with that. Moving on then, 7 irons.
Yeah, 7-iron.
I know it was a bit left,
Yeah.
but feel-wise, not feeling anything different from a normal golf ball that I would normally hit from that shot there.
Well, I think it's got to be a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We will start to see as we move up the bag, like we kind of saw in the premium range.
Yeah.
We'll start to see the golf balls merging a little bit.
Okay.
Varying performance in the shorter shots or the biggest difference in performance. But then as we get further from the green,
it's going to start to
we're all
blend
kind of
together.
because I guess the further from the green we get, we're all kind of wanting the same thing, aren't we?
Yeah, for sure. Just distance.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's higher.
Yeah.
It's definitely higher.
Yeah.
Again, I've kind of looked at my normal window, which I didn't even know I had a window, but now I can see that ball just rising up on me.
Yeah, so that was velocity.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Instantly you can see the difference there with that.
Yeah, so again, velocity is designed for a slightly higher ball flight. So for those golfers who are looking for a slightly higher flight to maximise distance and stopping power as well when you get into these slightly longer clubs, this has got a unique dimple pattern which enables the golf ball to fly a little bit higher. So it's going to give the golfer some distance and stopping power at a really affordable price point. It's definitely a difference between those two, isn't it? I know the
100%.
strikes were maybe a fraction different.
Yeah, but it was definitely, again, closer to my normal window of what I would expect to see from a golf ball.
Yeah, so I mean, I always talk about, when comparing the golf balls in terms of right the way through the range, and this is not to scale, but this is kind of how I kind of put it across, is the softer golf balls, and there's no direct correlation here, but the softer golf balls will tend to fly a bit lower.
Yeah.
So True Feel is the lowest flying in the performance.
Yeah.
Move up into the middle category, Tour Soft flies a fraction lower than Tour Speed.
Yeah.
And then in the premium, then AVX will fly a fraction lower than the other golf balls in that category. So there's no direct correlation, but the softer golf balls in each category in our range fly a fraction lower.
Again, a little higher.
Yeah.
Just felt a little higher.
Yeah, a fraction, didn't it? Yeah.
I mean it's marginal on those last two.
Yeah.
But certainly the difference there with velocity, getting it right up there to the others kind of maybe more manageable. But again, seeing that with the short game shots, same thing.
Yeah,
Exactly
absolutely.
the same thing.
And this is why it's so important to have a golf ball fitting, right?
Yeah,
so
there you go.
like velocity for you there has popped up, but for some golfers that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
The other golf balls were, like, the word you used, which I thought was great, was manageable. It was a manageable window.
Yeah.
And you can manipulate that as you wish, can't you? But velocity, based on a full shot there for you, was too high. But for some golfers,
Be perfect.
it's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely
For
perfect.
those that want to get it in, need to get it in the air,
Yeah,
it's going to work spot on for them, isn't it?
absolutely. Yeah.
Driver?
Driver, yeah, let's hit a few
Not
with
going
driver.
to see much of a difference here. You're sensing.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like the launch is going to be very different with that short shot.
Yeah.
That 50-yard pitch. 7-iron launch will be quite similar. Driver, virtually the same in terms of launch. And the spin across the board will be very, very similar, dependent on strike.
Come out like a bullet.
How did you hit that?
A bit low, I think, on the face. That's
Yeah.
another one of them. That was good.
Yeah. It'll be nice to see what this one does.
Oh yeah. Up.
Yeah, I like. Quite different, isn't it?
It looked like it went a mile.
You've got two completely different windows.
Completely different.
Similar strikes, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot in it. I mean,
So-
one turned over, one left out there to the right a little bit, but
So
not
that
a great deal.
So that difference in flight there is not spin, which a
No.
lot of people would equate it to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dimple pattern.
Okay. Tour soft.
Yeah.
That was a bit heely.
Okay.
Still gone though, isn't it? That was just a nice flight, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, tour speed kind of from a flight window is going to.
That's the closest ball to the premium ball.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be that kind of mid flight.
Absolutely.
Um,
Should we look at numbers?
yeah, let's do it.
Quite a few shots that we've hit here, certainly with 50-yard pitches,
Yeah.
10 shots of each. If we look at launch and spin, is that what
Yeah.
you're kind of looking for from a
From this kind of yardage, launch and spin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we start off with true feel, launch 31.5 degrees
Yeah.
with an average spin of 5,099.
Okay. Yeah.
So for me, looking at that instantly, quite low in the spin.
Yeah.
A little higher than normal, maybe from a launch point of view, maybe
Yeah.
1 or 2 degrees higher.
Yeah.
Velocity, 35.1 launch. I mean, it literally nearly went up
Yeah.
the nostril as it went off the club face.
Yeah.
Again, look at that spin though, 4,687 revs.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're comparing that to the premium range, which is closer to 6,000.
Yeah, it was just over 6, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tour speed,
Yeah.
30 degrees launch,
Yeah.
30.2 with 5.8 in the spin. So spin climbing a little bit
Yeah.
now, isn't it? And then tour soft, 30.4, so not a lot in it from
Yeah.
that. And then again, spin 5.7, so slightly
Yeah.
lower than what we're seeing at that tour speed.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we'd expect to see. I mean, as you kind of go through the range, with those short shots, you're going to see a higher launch with less spin.
Right.
But the one thing to bear in mind is with it launching higher, it's coming down a bit steeper. So they are
Definitely.
still very playable. They're just, the way I'd put it, Dan,
Yeah.
is those golf balls don't give you as many options.
Okay.
So when you spend a little bit less money, you're limiting your options in terms of short game performance. However, they're very playable. So it's really just trying to, if a golfer's coming along and they have preferences in mind
Yeah.
with regards to feel, ball flight, colour options, price,
Yeah.
these golf balls, there will be something in this offering
That can cover them.
that will cover them.
Yeah, absolutely right. Then we move into 7 irons.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to go with spin numbers and peak heights.
Yeah, spin, peak height, descent angle.
Okay, so we got true feel, 5,376 on an average spin.
Yeah,
Peaking out 34 yards high,
yeah,
distance 157, descent angle 49.2.
yeah,
Compare that to the velocity.
yeah,
We got 5,400 spin, 460 on an average, peaking out 36 yards high, so definitely higher.
yeah,
Carry distance exactly the same. Descent angle a fraction more steeper.
fraction steeper. Yeah,
Fraction steeper because it's peaked out higher.
Yep.
It's going to come in a bit steeper.
yeah, and that's exactly what velocity is designed to do.
Get it in the air quickly.
Get it in the air.
Yeah.
Higher flight, steeper descent,
Okay.
distance and some control.
Then we move into tour soft.
Yep.
and we've got 5,400 spin, so pretty much the same. Not a lot in it in the spin, is it? Yeah. Peaking out 35 yards high. Yeah. Carry distance almost the same again. Descent angle around the same, actually. Interestingly, around the same as the velocity.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is something, because we captured a lot of this data indoors, didn't we?
We did,
so
yeah, absolutely.
With indoor testing and fitting, the peak height is a little bit harder to kind of calculate because the algorithm on the launch monitor.
On the machines.
But
we've seen it here.
We've seen it here. Yeah. Actually, in
real world.
In the real world, we've seen it here, haven't we?
Absolutely.
And it's really what's the word? It's really obvious.
Tour speed then.
Yep.
5,621 on an average, peaking out 33 yards high.
Yeah.
This was the one, is this not the one that's got the closest to what I'm seeing in the premium range?
Yeah.
Carry distance the same, and then descent angle now a degree shorter, again, or a degree coming in slightly shallower into the green.
Yeah, so I mean,
most spin.
Yeah, absolutely. So the most spin of those 4 golf balls in our performance range. And this isn't how we advertise it, but I always like to talk about tour speed as a bit of a hybrid between the performance golf balls and the premium performance. It kind of sits in the middle there, and it's great for a golfer who wants a kind of a bit of everything at a slightly lower price point.
Then we move into driver, and this is where you reckon the numbers are going to come in a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with launch and spin for you.
Yeah.
Okay. True feel, launching at 13.3 off the face, 1,808, so nearly 1,900 spin, so quite low. But then again, I did turn it over a little bit on this shot, carry 264. Then we lose to velocity, 13.2, so launching it a little higher. Spin at 2.1. Carry distance there at 265.
Yeah.
Then we go into tour soft, launching at 13.4, spin 2.1, nearly 2.2, so very similar again. Carry distance 259, again subject to strike. And then tour speed, launching at 14.2, spin again similar, 2.3, 2.63 in the carry. So again, very similar to what we're seeing in the premium ball.
Yeah.
There's no real, again, you could chuck a blanket over these, couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this is something I always mention, like we all want the same thing off the tee, don't we? Every golfer wants distance, optimal distance, and consistency. Yeah. And this is what all of our golf balls are designed to do. We've got the best scientists working on our golf balls and performance, and they're going to give you distance with every model we do.
Yeah.
Every model we produce, but then as you get closer to the green, that's when you see the biggest difference in performance.
Well, another fantastic afternoon with Tom, spending some time talking about golf balls, hitting golf balls, getting the feel of these golf balls, how they're performing. Finding the right golf ball at the right price for you is obviously really important, and Titleist know that we're not all going to spend lots of money on golf balls, but I think from my point of view, from that fitting, I would say that the Tour Speed is probably the ball that I would be looking at there, and the reason for that is because it plays as close to the premium ball as possible, similar flights, not necessarily feeling a difference in the feel with those golf balls, but certainly that golf ball giving me the control of spin and the similar flight that I would get from a premium golf ball. However, they do concern me when it comes down to spin control, dispersion from front to back. If you haven't got that spin control from a golf ball, which you're definitely going to get from a premium range golf ball, which is so important from a fitting point of view. And the message I think from all of this is, whatever golf ball you go and get fitted into, whatever preferences you want from those golf balls, just stick with the same ball. I hope you like what you're seeing from this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like it, and then we'll see you all again on the next video.